goodness, it's so big. Where's the little one? Where's the little one? Okay, welcome in. It is Sunday, March 2nd, and it is what is it? What is the temperature here, guys? It's 62 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona. Good to see you all. Thanks for coming in. It's good to be back home. I'm just gonna change around a few things here. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, this is supposed to be. What happens there now? What happens when I do that? Okay, I guess that little circle doesn't stay. I don't want to be in the middle of the screen. Can I edit that? Can I edit? Let's see if I can edit this. Okay, save that. Ah, that didn't do anything. Just didn't do anything. Okay. Ah. mm, mm. Jim Bob, how you doing? You knows how you doing? Welcome in. Welcome to the coffee lounge. How's everybody tonight? This early morning. It is 1 a.m. here in Phoenix, Arizona. Has everybody got your coffee ready? Hi, Miss Joyax. How are you? Good to see you. How you doing? So it's been a long 2 weeks for me. I just got back from uh well, it was Vegas, and then I was in Kingman, and then back here. It's been a long 2 weeks, really long, a little exhausting. Oh, I forgot to put my music on. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. Uh, when did I get back? I got back on Thursday. Been home since Thursday, but still dealing with mom. Uh, we left Vegas there. Gosh, what was it? Thursday morning? Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? I think it was shoot. I think it was earlier than that. Honestly, I think it was Tuesday that we got back. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Anyways, I think it was Wednesday. I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. It's 8:05 where you're at, you knows? Jet lag now, just a lot of driving. Just a bunch of driving. So, gosh, when did I get back? Let's see, how many nights have I slept here? I think this is gonna be 2 nights. So it's Sunday, Saturday, Friday. I think we got back here to Phoenix on Thursday. And then back in the hospital. So from a hospital in Vegas to the hospital here in Phoenix, we decided not to do a hospital in Kingman because of just a bad experience there. Vegas was also a handful of complications, and but on my downtime, it was nice. I got to see a few things when when I was able to get away. And so we're back in Phoenix now. My mother's actually in the hospital here, being seen by supposed to be some good cardiologist, nephrologist, and what is it, internal medicine specialists. So mom's been in there 2 nights now, and she's doing better. But yeah, so my mom, she had a stroke 2 weeks ago, like 2 days before, three days before Valentine's Day. We took her to the hospital where she lives, and during all the tests there, they found a vegetation on her heart valve, and they're not really qualified to handle that type of severity of in the body. So they like transported her to Vegas, and in Vegas, she does dialysis. So she had a port on one side of her chest in Vegas. They actually took out that port and put it on the other side, and it's been complications since that new port was placed in there for her dialysis. It just kept leaking, and she was discharged, and the port started leaking like the very next day, very next morning. So she was readmitted. They stitched up the port. It wasn't bleeding when they discharged her again. Brought her home, and the very next morning it started leaking again. So we were like, screw that. We're not taking her to the first or second hospital. Since I'm here in Phoenix, we decided to take her to supposedly a really good hospital, and actually we're quite satisfied with the care there. So she's this is round three for her, third hospital, and they finally got her port right. It's not leaking. She's had 2 sessions of dialysis now, two or one session, and she's just being monitored for leakage, and I think the doctors there are trying to figure out what to do with that vegetation on her valve. So yes, Dark Soldier. How you doing, Dark Soldier? Thank you, Jim. Much appreciated. Yeah, so it's been a really long couple weeks, especially seeing her and leaking, like her whole side of her chest was just covered on her gown. Just full. She lost quite a bit of blood, but she's doing better now, and she's got a very complicated health issues going on. She's got kidney failure, diabetes, high blood pressure. She has to be on dialysis, and she's very delicate as far as her health goes. So there's a lot going on internally with her. But everything looks good so far. The hospital that she's in is really nice. She's got her own room. There's no distractions, and so we're just keeping our fingers crossed that they can get her all straightened out, and I could take her back home, and hopefully she'll live a semi-normal life for a long time. So yeah. How you doing, Dark Soldier? So yeah, this is my first live since I've been back, and I've just been kind of sharing here and there where I've been. And actually, in the hospital, I did a short earlier. Well, it was yesterday. Was it tonight? Yesterday. They have a cool coffee machine. I really like coffee. Um, it's a coffee machine. It's got like a robotic arm. You just choose what you like, and this darn arm just like grabs a cup, takes it to the ice machine. I got a nice coffee, and it puts ice in the cup, and then goes over to the coffee part, the coffee machine side, and pours the coffee, the cream, whatever you order, and then it puts it in this little special spot. Door opens, it lowers down like a little elevator. Really cool. And then on my way home, I saw a self-driving car. So that was all exciting. And they're using a Jaguar for this thing. This thing is looks like the Google car. It's got all these gadgets mounted to the body of this car, all these sensors, and there's a really cool sensor on top that's spinning, kind of like a single police light, but the old-fashioned ones, and it's just a spinning kind of light. It's a really low type of light. It's like a blue light, but I believe that's all the sensors. And you can see it in the short that there's no driver. The windows are tinted, so it's really hard to see the passenger in the back. But I've seen quite a bit of them, and I really want to go and find one that's parked and do like a up close video of this car. It just looks really cool. You're at work, Dark Soldier? Oh, that's cool. Are you having a good day at work? Yeah, so this they use a Jaguar for this self-driving car. It's like a taxi. I gotta get some more information on it to figure out. I want to find out what the company that's behind this, the technology, who's in charge, who's the builders. I'm gonna find out all this stuff because I'm really curious. I love technology, and I'm fascinated by it. Is my hubby says I probably wouldn't drive in one of those or be a passenger in one of those. Apparently, recently here in Phoenix, a man had taken one of these cars to the airport, and instead of dropping him off, it just kept driving in circles in the parking lot. And luckily, there was an on-call tech that you can reach, and they were able to get it to stop driving in circles. And the guy barely made his flight. So that's the only thing I heard about the Jaguar that's self-driving. That sounds kind of iffy, you know, just a little malfunction. I mean, that's better than driving off a cliff or off a bridge or something. I'd rather it drive in circles safely than dump me off over the edge of some cliff or a bridge. Hey, Glacier Shark. Oh, you got the day shift, Dark Soldier? Oh, awesome. That's awesome. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. It's a pleasure to meet you. I appreciate it. So yeah, this is my first live since I've been back. It's been a long 2 weeks. I'm mentally exhausted. I've been telling a lot of people in on my path that my mind is in limbo. So I'm just slowly getting back to normal, what normal is in the house. Thank you, Glacier Shark. Yeah, she's doing a lot better. Uh, she's got a nice room. She doesn't have a obnoxious roommate. I actually had to like bite my lip the whole time in Vegas. She had an obnoxious roommate. This roommate would get on her phone, and everybody cusses, right? I cuss when I'm mad or once in a while. I use cuss words to express myself in anger. Of course, a lot of people do, but I don't just use them for just normal conversation. I use them when I'm angry, usually. But this gal was on her phone just F-bombing really loud all hours of the night. My mother could not sleep. I made several complaints, and the nurses never told her nothing. They told us, "Oh, if she does it at night, we'll make her turn off her cell." Well, that never happened. So on the day of her discharge, while they were wheeling her out, um, I looked at her in the face and I said, "It's about time you take that obnoxious bitch out of here." And I said, "Please take that wheelchair and roll her down the stairs." And I just smiled, and they took her out of the room. So that's how I handled it. And I just had enough of it, and I was just exhausted um, at the whole situation and fighting with staff, and uh, it was just kind of it was definitely an experience that I do not want to do again. So thank you for the prayers, Glacier Shark. Oh, you're doing movies now, Dark Soldier. That's awesome. Yeah, so that was one gal that I had to just give her a piece of my mind. I didn't want to cause too many problems during her stay there. We put up with a lot. She just would not tone it down. I didn't really care if she cussed, but she was keeping my mother from sleeping. So that's just what, kind of made me a little, put me on edge. And I spent, sometimes 13 hours in the room with my mother. And hearing that like the whole time was just exhausting. And believe me, in my mind, I was visualizing like in the cartoons, just grabbing a pillow and putting it over her face. That crossed my mind so many times, and I was like, "This not nice. That's not nice." But my goodness, unbelievable. I had to fire a nurse. I literally said, "You're fired," and she's like, "You can't fire me." I said, "I just did get out. Uh, I don't want to see you ever again." So it's just some of the staff there were just so inhumane. Like they just were like, "What are they doing there?" Uh, she had her procedure and she was in the room, and right after the procedure, she had like a slow, just a trickle, like almost a clear, just liquid, two like drips, like they were like just two little drips that had dripped down her chest, and they were kind of light pink. I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, let's keep an eye on that." Well, about 30 minutes later, they filled in and they got red, and then the whole dressing underneath filled up with blood, and then it just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and so they called in a specialist, well, another nurse, and I don't like to call them by their uh, what is that called? I don't think that they deserve their title because of how poor their performance was in regards to their title. But anyways, this person redressed her dressing, and they said, "Oh, just put your hand on the port and just keep pressure on it. Oh, the bleeding will stop." So my hands, mind you, my hand, I put a glove on. It's all full of blood, and I'm like, "When is that going to stop? Is this? I mean, shouldn't one of your staff do this?" So they kind of finally called in the surgeon who performed the surgery, and he put in a stitch and cleaned her all up, put a new dressing on. Uh, and then it kind of still leaked after that. They got it to stop leaking and eventually discharged her. And then when I brought her, I was staying at a hotel, and the very next morning, again, her whole side was just covered in blood. So, hey, 907 Good Eats. I thought you would have went to bed. Good to see you. Um, 907 just made some stir fry with rice, and she made all kinds of good food yesterday. She started with breakfast and had three lives. Just awesome. If you like to see some good cooking, go over to her channel and check out her delicious meals that she prepares. Just wonderful. She also likes to eat, like I do. She'll eat on camera and just share her meal with you, and her family comes over. It's really nice. And she'll go have a coffee at the grocery, the market, and she's kind of been switching it up a little bit. It's really nice and refreshing to see some normal people, like she said earlier, doing different things. So I appreciate that. Thank you, 907. You're welcome. So, uh, so when I took my mother out of the hospital, they discharged her. We had got her home care. Had all that set up. There was a special pharmacy that drove her medicine out to the hospital, but unfortunately, they didn't make it at the time of discharge. So they actually literally delivered her medicine to the hotel in an ice box, all iced up. And so it was that morning that we woke up after her discharge with her medicine in the fridge, that it was leaking again, and she just a bunch more leaking all over her gown. So I had to readmit her. They kept her overnight. The next day they wanted to discharge her, and we're like, absolutely not. By this time she was on a different floor, which was way better. The staff, the nurses, which I will acknowledge them by their title, because they deserve every bit of training that they received, because they showed it. Just was stellar performance. The best staff that we had the chance of meeting, and just very kind, and just great care, and great bedside manners also. We wish that they would have kept her there on that floor longer, but they discharged her again too soon, because when I drove her back home to Kingman, about an hour and a half south of Vegas, again, I was up with my mother all night checking her port, and between 6 and 8 a.m., that's when I was sleeping. I was like, okay, I'm just going to rest. I have to take her to dialysis later, the doctor later. She started bleeding again, and it got really bad to where her dialysis wouldn't even touch it. They said, take her back to the ER. So when we were in Vegas in the ER, the one of the nurses in the ER said, if this happens again while she's in Kingman, they're just going to bring her right back here. And this thought lingered in the back of my mind. I'm like, there's no way we're going back there. So we brought her back to Phoenix, and took her to a university hospital here. And the ER was a nightmare. But when she finally got to her room, it was like night and day. The ER was a nightmare. The doctor was rude. I had to call him on his attitude. He adjusted it when I called him on his attitude, because he didn't want to keep her. He actually put a stitch in her, another stitch, and was trying to release her like an hour later, and we refused. So if you're in the hospital and they discharge you, you as the patient, or the person, the family member with the patient, has the right to refuse the discharge decision. They cannot deny you, and they have to keep the patient. The doctor got really, really rude, and he's like, on what grounds are we keeping her? And I said, observation. And he got so mad. He walked out of there, and he actually wrote um, he wrote in the like the order to admit her, and from the ER to admitting, they made her wait from, what time did we get there? It was in the evening. I want to say, I don't know, between 4 and 6 p.m. They kept her there in the ER after it was like around, probably around 11 when they finally decided to admit her. Uh, they kept her in there 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 hours till the next day. And then it wasn't till like 5 or 6 p.m. that we came back to the ER, and we're like, hey, the doctor's orders were to admit her. Why is she still in the ER? And they were, just, it was horrible. They were giving her, for breakfast, they gave her a turkey sandwich. They gave her a turkey sandwich that night. For breakfast, they gave her a turkey sandwich and Jello and a Sprite, like a sugar-free Sprite. Uh, and I think for lunch, they gave her a turkey sandwich. And we were so angry. We were like, okay. So we were very stern. 10 minutes after we got there and started kicking up some dust, someone came in very swiftly, grabbed her in her bed, and said, your room is ready. So she's finally in a room. It's like night and day, literally. The room up in the hospital where they admitted her is, she's all alone. It's really big. It's very nice, and she's in really good hands now. So I've already talked to a nephrologist, a cardiologist. I haven't talked to the nephrologist yet, and explained all of her history, her health history. I got all her files from both hospitals, well, both visits of the Vegas hospital. Kingman didn't even give her discharge papers. So uh, it's been a long 2 weeks with my mama, and I gained so much knowledge going through these two hospitals and the third one. So yeah, if they're trying to discharge you and you think that your life or your health is at risk and you don't feel comfortable with their decision, you have the right to appeal their decision, and just say that you refuse, that you want to be admitted, especially if it's in the ER. ER is really complicated. But that's what you got to do. We had to do that in Vegas because they were the second time trying to discharge her way too early, and we had to tell them to literally keep her one more night for observation, and they did. So if anybody's having problems, or are in that situation, just remember that you can appeal the decision of a discharge and stay longer if it's if you think that your health is at risk, or you're just not going to be safe going back home because you didn't get the proper care, or you need to be seen longer, or whatever it might be. But that's just what I learned. So yeah, they just kept discharging her. Well, because she wasn't bleeding when they discharged her, and it happened that when she went home, or she was with me, and it was like the very next day, and so she just kept bleeding. When we took her home, like twice, we tried to take her home, but she would bleed the very next day. So that's why we were adamant about her being kept in there for observation. So That's kind of what I've been through for the past 2 weeks, and, like, I think my mind is still in limbo a little bit, but I really got, uh, everything down as far as her health and her history and her meds and all that stuff. The doctors ask, and it's just like I'm on autopilot with, answering all the questions for her, and so, that's been my last couple weeks. And these few lives that you've seen, with me in Vegas, that was just a few hours that I had just, to decompress from all that. So it was nice to do something different other than the hospital scene. So, and then, it's never fun to be in a hospital. There's so many people injured or sick or, uh, just, there's a lot going on in a hospital. And, we're not used to seeing things like a lot of blood or people in pain or, suffering with something. We don't see that all the time, but they do. This hospital staff does, so they're used to that stuff. So when they see a lot of blood, it's like nothing to them. They treat it like, it's lunchtime, or, it's just they treat it like it's just nothing. So I think that's why they're so blank about, someone's condition or cold. But a lot of people actually, it's not everybody in the hospital, don't get me wrong. It's just a few that just really don't care. And I don't think they should have, the privilege of being in a hospital, as an employee, to work with people. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, mom's in good hands now, and, I was with her till about 9 PM, 9:30-ish, I think, and I came home. So she's in good hands now. I'm just waiting to see if the, cardiologist, uh, is gonna figure out what to do with that. There's a vegetation on her heart valve. They found it after her stroke, the first hospital she went to, and it's this little thing on the valve, and if this little thing breaks off, it can cause a lot of damage, in her arteries, like stroke, heart attack, uh, blood clotting, and, it's like a ticking time bomb kinda situation. Right, and I totally get that, Jim Bob. I totally get that, but when they're, treating a patient and, they're fishing in your arm or they're flushing your IV, violently, those little things is what where they should have a little more compassion, because that's what we kind of experienced or dealt with. And you just gotta say, "Get out of here, don't come back, call somebody else." If you have a nurse or whoever is, like, putting an IV in your arm or extracting blood for samples, and they're all fishing in your arm, and they're really hurting you, they're not really qualified or they're not experienced. You just tell them to stop and get someone else that can do it, with ease. Because there was a lot of training going on the floor that my mother was on, and, so, one of my family members had some concerns with that, and I thought at the time that she was kinda, being a little over dramatic about it, but that's actually the nurse that I fired. I don't I just that's, like, the best way that came to my mind to tell her to get the heck out of the room, get out of our face, don't come back, because in that, moment, my mother's port was bleeding heavily, and she kept saying, "Oh, that's normal, that's normal. Yeah, that's normal." And then another nurse came in and was just basically, copying, uh, the behavior of the nurse, saying that's normal. Then everybody was like, "That's normal." I was like, "That's not normal." Uh, so so they figured out that the blood thinner she was on, was causing the leaking like so much, right? She was bleeding out. So they finally figured out to stop her blood thinner after they were saying that that's normal. And it was after that that I realized that these people just were not qualified. She wouldn't get like another doctor to come in. I requested a doctor, a second opinion, and she was refusing to uh, responding to my wishes, as she just kind of acted like she was the the head honcho of the floor. Whatever she said went, and I didn't appreciate that. I didn't think that that was professional. Plus, she was trying to talk over me as I was asking her nicely to get another doctor in to look at it. And oh, that's normal. She kept saying that's normal. So I just told her to get out. She was fired. Hey, Roger, how you doing? Yeah, I just I went from being very angry to being exhausted, and then it was like a maniacal laugh, and then after that I just didn't have the energy to argue anymore. I just started kicking people out, just like get out, don't come back. That's the best I could do with the unprofessionalism that I seen. And you just have to be like that. Hi, Julie, how are you? So we're like we've been on like a roller coaster, and we're like coming down, and it's starting to calm. You know, the track is at the calm where it's at the end of the ride. So we're about right there, and now we're just waiting. I think they're going to reassess her port and her the condition that she's in. I think they're going to try to figure out something in regards to that. They call it a vegetation on the valve. So I believe that they are by Monday. I'm sure that they're gonna you know, think about what to do with that. So we'll see. We'll see. That's today's Sunday, so I'm thinking tomorrow uh, they'll figure it out. I hope. She is on an antibiotic though, because they think it's like an infection. But in the other hospital, they said infections usually kind of leak into the blood, and that's usually how it's found. But they said it's not in the blood, so kind of wondering what the heck it is. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Roger? I've had two coffees yesterday, so I might have a coffee, I might not. Anybody drinking coffee right now? What kind of coffee do you like? I like I had two coffees with it out of that machine actually. I made two shorts. Those two shorts that I made were two coffees that I bought. And the second one was better because I added caramel in there, and it was iced, and it was really good. It was real. I enjoyed that coffee all the way home. Oh, you're doing good, Julie? That's good. That's good. It's good to see you. So yeah, that coffee machine was like the highlight of the evening. We discovered it last evening, well, the evening before last, because we've been in the ER stuck there, right? But now that we were in the regular part of the hospital, there was a separate entrance. So the main entrance, and in the main entrance, you walk in, and boom, there's that machine, and I'm like, I saw like rainbows and coffee angels. And I just like my eyes lit up like stars, and that thing is cool. It's like this little contemporary or modern looking wooden cube, square, another square, but it's rounded edges. It's got a glass window. The robotic arm inside. It's got your hot coffee machines, and ice machine, and it makes all kinds of different coffees. It makes hot and cold. It makes chocolate. It makes chai tea. It puts all the foo in there for you. I'm pretty sure it does it even froths. I think it even does a frothy coffee. Really cool. But it was just exciting. I've never seen anything like that. Apparently, it's been around since well, last year. They said that they were going to be adding new flavors to that machine, and I mean, it had all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different coffees, and you can make specialty coffees, add different flavors and stuff. It's really neat. You can even get on your phone, and it's got like a, I don't know if it was clear enough in the short, but you could probably scan that QR code, and if you're near one of those machines, you could just order your coffee, and it'll be ready, waiting for you when you get down to that machine. It's really cool. You scan it gives you a receipt. On the receipt, if you're at the machine, there's a QR code, and it says scan your code to open the door to grab your coffee. And it's just really neat. It just goes down this little tiny little elevator, and the door opens, and you grab your coffee. It's really cool. Really neat. Hey, Favorite Dream. How are you doing? Did they have Kool-Aid flavor? No, they didn't have Kool-Aid flavor. Oh, they had like two kinds of vanillas. They had a caramel. I just try. I was only able. Well, I'm gonna go back there tomorrow. Maybe I'll try a different flavor. I would like to try the chai tea, except I can't have that heavy creamer in there because that stuff hurts my stomach. I'll have to see. And it's probably not going to be the same too with almond milk. But I might try something different if I go back there tomorrow. This is in a hospital. This coffee machine is really cool. You're doing good, Fever Dream? That's good. I really enjoyed your shorts. They're a little out there but funny. And you have to really pay attention to what's going on there because there's some morbid humor in there, but it's funny. I appreciate it. It's like, huh? Did he just say what I thought he just said? Especially with the onions, the dog. Yeah, that was crazy, twisted, but good. It's good to be home. Yeah, I'm thinking, where do you come up with that stuff? It's funny. I mean, I can see it all in my head. I'm just like, that's just crazy. So I'm like, what? What, what just happened? But yeah, that's just the update with my mama, and I'll be normal here in the next, hopefully in the next couple of days, and chipper again. I'm just still exhausted. I've got plenty of sleep, but it's just a lot. It's a lot to process, and it's a lot mentally. It was physically exhausting, but I mean, you do it for your family, right? You do whatever you have to do. So it just was all unexpected too. So, but anyways, I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. We've been live for 45 minutes. I don't know if I'll go over an hour. Try to keep it not too long. I just wanted to catch you all up with what's going on. Why I've been gone. I wanted to see more Vegas. Oh gosh, I really wanted to show you guys this other casino called the Rio. and I mentioned it several times, that they renovated like the exterior of the casino building, and this thing has like cascading blue lights that just are the coolest. It looks so cool at night because it's like dark all the way around this casino, and then you see these blue lights uh, just kind of revolving. Well, they start from the top and then they cascade down like a waterfall, but it's just a really pretty blue light. It's really neat. I wanted to get like a close up of that because I could see it from driving back and forth to the hospital, and I really wanted to go see it, but I just didn't have any time. Didn't have no time. But let me see. We're in March now. I think next month. I think it's next month. I don't know if it's mid-month. We're going back to Vegas, so we'll see. I'll have more footage next month with Vegas. We're actually going to go several places. We're going to do a little traveling, so that'll be neat. I'll definitely share that with you guys when I get a chance to sneak away and get some footage. So what's everybody been up to? Anything fun? Anybody have any plans for the week? So anybody going to work tomorrow? Probably shouldn't be up so late. Should go to bed. uh, I do want to make something nice to eat and maybe share with you guys soon. I should have done that already, but I have a nice piece of meat that I need to uh, unpackage, marinate, and repackage in an airtight bag and let that sit over. I'm gonna have to do that before I go to bed. That way it'll be nice and ready. I think I'm gonna barbecue it on the fire, cook it on the fire. Um, my mouth is just like getting all juiced up thinking about it. Anything exciting going on with you guys? Anybody? Isn't this St. Patty's month? St. Patty's Day month, March. I have to look it up. I think it is. I'll probably do something for St. Patty's. Uh, Something crafty maybe. Nobody's doing anything? Nothing? It's just crickets, huh? Y'all are just crickets, huh? I just hear crickets. Nothing. Oh, you got flooded there in Kentucky, Roger? Oh, right when I left, huh? Ah, these earbuds. Really? What's going on in Kentucky, Roger? What'd you do? Did you do a rain dance? Is everyone okay? I mean, did you lose buildings? I mean, how severe was that? Flooding is not fun, guys, especially if it comes into your house and you're like, "Oh my God, do I have like what is that called? Flood damage insurance or that's not fun." I remember when California, a part that I would have never thought would have got flooded, but it did, and a lot of people in their apartments were showing footage of like I don't know, a foot and a half, maybe two of water coming into their apartments. And this was an area where you just would never think it would flood. I think it was like Merced or something like that in California. It was very unusual, but there was an extreme amount of snowfall up in the Sierra Nevadas, and then all of a sudden it got hot. I was like, "What the heck?" And all that snow started melting really fast, and, I was, actually there after, in California for the summer after all that happened, the flooding, and all the campgrounds were closed. I was just, like, so bummed because I wanted to spend some time in the redwoods camping, and I took all my gear, and I was, like, looking for a campground and nothing. I was really bummed, so I was like, "Screw this, I'm going to the beach." So I ended up going to the beach for a couple weeks and spending time there. But, what's the deal with the flooding, Roger? What happened? Just a bunch of rainfall, too much rainfall, huh? Or was it snow melt? What was it? Was it like a week of rain or something, or did a dam break, or yeah, so in California, it was just the snow melted extremely quick, just extremely quick, and, heck, all the canals and the creeks and all that just couldn't hold, the amount of that much water, uh, and it just kind of flooded a lot of the parks and the campgrounds and some towns. So if anybody knows Dark Soldier, he's been playing, matinee type, stuff on his channel. I was able to catch, just like the last 30 minutes of a show, and it was like an old, black and white, 50s or something kind of show. It's really cool. There's a couple channels that I like to watch that have shows like that. Fever Dream plays some stuff like that too. Um, and like when I'm winding down here and I just like to kind of watch stuff, that was nice to see. Okay, so let's see. Several people lost their homes. Oh no. Uh, I got by pretty lucky. I had a small mudslide behind the house and some damage to the driveway. There was some heavy rain over a few days. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad you're okay, Roger. I bet, hopefully none of your moonshine got damaged, huh? Or your Kool-Aid stash? Your Kool-Aid. Saludos, Jose. ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo? Bienvenidos. Uh, um, that's so do you have like, was it concrete or was it the black asphalt stuff? I mean, does that even matter? I'm glad you're okay. Um, Flooding is not fun. We actually, when we get monsoon here, I've seen within like a 12-year span. I think we got kind of flooded here, but not that bad. I mean, like the pool, the water was all the way up to like the rim, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the pool's gonna overflow, and then what are we gonna do? I was just like waiting and watching the pool, and I was like, oh my God, do we have like a drain? Is there a way to like drain the pool a little bit? I was really worried, but that's not fun, flooding. Bien, bien, gracias, Jose. Uh, uh, so the freeways here in Phoenix, I think they were built on big, huge, like riverbeds, because when it rains, like all the water flows down the freeway. It's crazy. Like they have to close the freeway sometimes because there's just too much water, like up to your door handle deep. And some of these people still drive through it. They're like, I think I got this. They're like, you know that commercial that they say, "Hold my beer," and they still try to go through it, and then they get washed away, then have to be rescued because they were brave and but didn't think that that would happen to them. Uh, Crazy. We'll see you next time too. Thank you for coming in, 907. I hope you sleep well and thank you for a wonderful show. It was nice to see you and your wonderful, delicious food. Ah, is there going to be a show with that? That was a prep, right? A prep video, prep show? Are you going to actually sit down and eat that stuff later? I want to see it. I want to watch it. But have a good night. I'll check back on your channel and look for it. The moonshine and Kool-Aid made it through the flood. The driveway is blocked up. Okay, and so that got damaged. That's some strong stuff. I think that uh, that that the blacktop is usually stronger than cement because it starts off really hot, right? And you got to compress it. And tar, it's got tar. I mean, it's got like glue. It's like glue, hot lava rock. So it's usually stronger. I guess that's why I asked. Oh yes, let me put up the banner. If you guys want to share your channel, just type in my channel. Um, I actually gotta check. I got like 3 subscribers, so I'm pretty sure there's the same 3. Hopefully they didn't leave me because I've been MIA for a couple weeks. But that's why it's because of my mama, guys. It's my mama. You gotta take care of your family. So those are my 3 subscribers. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys, all of you. So yeah, this is there's 907 Good Eats. That's her channel, and there's Fever Dream right there. He's got some cool stuff. Everybody that comes in here that has a channel is good people. So just so you know. Oh, I got my frother. So it arrived while I was gone because I ordered like some cool stuff for coffee, and I did a test run with my frother with almond milk, but I did it cold. So I want to try it with hot because it heats. It also heats while it froths, and it has a cold one and it has a hot setting. So I got to practice with hot almond milk because you can make a latte with hot almond milk and do the fancy design. So I'm going to start practicing. I just got it, so I just got back, but I've still gotta. I don't have a whole lot of time to play with that, but any little chance I get, I'm gonna try. What did I see recently? I saw something like there's like a new. It's not a holiday, but what was it? Gosh darn it! Was it like Texas Day or something? It was just something weird. I'm like, what? Another one? Another something to add to the calendar? Uh, like I want to add something to the calendar. Like we should have like cooking day or something. We should have like barbecue day or craft day, right? Art show day, art day, uh, something. I gotta look at the calendar, see what's going on in the calendar this month. So okay, here it is. Texas Independence Day. That's new. Anybody ever hear that? Um, Texas Independence Day. So, okay, St. Patty's Day is the 17th. Oh, that's next month. April Fools is coming up. That's next month. This month, I know it's gonna fly by just like last month. Daylight. Oh no, daylight savings. Well, we don't acknowledge that here in Arizona, but everybody else is gonna be like, ah, I hate it. So yeah, today is Texas Independence Day. That's interesting. Does anybody have any knowledge on that? I'll have to research. I don't remember ever seeing that there prior or before. Never, hmm, never seen that. And there's also something on my calendar on this same day as St. Patrick's Day called Evacuation Day. I have no idea. All this stuff. Let's see what's going on next month in April. Thomas Jefferson Tax Day. Okay, well, don't forget to put Tax Day on the calendar. Jeez. Emancipation Day, Earth Day. Uh, I don't know about you, but I remember Earth Day being on the 20th of April, not the 22nd. I think they changed that. I always thought that it was acknowledged on the 20th, because everybody says 420. That was supposed to be the Earth Day. That's the Earth Day that I remember. I don't know why they skipped ahead 2 days and decided to put it on the 22nd. Because we actually had, when I lived in Idaho, we had, on that day we had hot air balloon festival, and like the whole town put up their tents. It was crafts, food, air balloons, hot air balloons. It was just the whole town did a celebration. It was really neat. So yeah, Texas Independence Day. That's what's being observed for today. Yeah, never heard of it. Moonshine Day. There you go, Roger. Something that something meaningful. Moonshine Day. Oh. You never heard of it? Me either. Who is in charge of putting these things on the calendar? It's like who do I got to talk to? Like who does that? Should I Google it? Should I Google it? Like how would I word that? Uh, let's see. Congress. Okay, well, they determine federal holidays. Let's Okay, so well, that's federal holidays. Okay, who's in charge of putting everything else? Okay, so again, the Congress. So this is interesting. It says Congress only has authority to create holidays for federal employees, institutions, and the District of Columbia. Adding a new holiday requires a bill to be introduced, debated, and voted on by both houses of Congress. Wait, wait, wait. What about the people? For all we know, they're like voting for underwear day or something. Like, where is the email that I never received asking me what I thought about that? I mean, really. So these people make these decisions. Yes, that's so far it's Congress. Like, what about all the other stuff? Like the Texas Independence Day. Who put that in there? Who's in charge of that? Because everything on the calendar is not federal, is it? Excuse me. Does anybody ever think about stuff like this? So basically, let's see. Gonna be a bunch of like, all right, so, okay, Senate and the House of Representatives. Who are these people? Uh, I think that it should be like the people's choice to do holidays. Uh, they should be in charge of what they want to celebrate. Or you could look up who's in the Congress, and all those people are responsible for these holidays on the calendar. Thanks, guys. That's a lot of research, and mm, okay. I have to look up Texas Independence Day because I'm just very curious. All right, I'm sure it has a great meaning behind it, or very. I'm sure it's got something very important. So, Texas Independence Day is a state holiday in Texas, celebrated annually on March 2nd. It's a partial staffing holiday, which means that state offices are open, but with fewer staff. So, this is designed for employees' day off. Okay, commemorates the adoption of Texas Declaration of Independence on March 2nd of 1836. Why are we living in the past? They say that's in the past. Let it go. No, I don't know. It's probably very meaningful. I don't mean to offend anybody. If you're from Texas, I'm just being silly. Just trying to understand why. So they say it's similar to the Declaration, the 1776 Declaration of Independence of the United States. So they say that Texas became the 28th state in the United States after struggling as an independent nation for almost 10 years. All right. I'm sure a lot of other states struggled to become independent. Um, Okay, what do they eat on in Texas Independence Day? Guess what they eat. So, like on St. Patty's Day, everybody does what is it? It's the sauerkraut with what is that meat called? Uh, Darn it. It's that crock pot meat. You cook it in the crock pot. Uh, Darn it. My mind went blank. It went into limbo again. It's not pot roast. It's like pastrami. What is that meat? Does anybody know? Anyways, so Texas does chili. Don't mention beans in chili if you're in Texas. Just so you know, they consider that as fighting words. They will brawl if you say, "Where's the beans in the chili?" That's kind of aggressive. It's like I got yelled at for eating a spaghetti with chopsticks. So, hey, that's just like I usually do that like in private, but I just happened to be on camera that day, and I got a little bit of flack from it. Got a little bit of they're like, "Don't you ever do that? Don't you ever eat spaghetti with chopsticks?" Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's noodles. Okay, so that's the story with Texas and the Independence Day thing. So everybody's eating chili over in Texas. That's gonna be well, there's no beans in it. So I was gonna say that's gonna be quite a gassy state. But don't you dare mention beans in their chili today, or you better put your boxing gloves on. Okay, so that's fun. Right on, Texas. Go, you go. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So it says the Texas Independence Day is a celebration of the adoption of the Texas Declaration of Independence on March 2nd, 1836. With this document signed by 59 delegates, settlers in Mexican Texas. That's interesting. Officially declared independence from Mexico. Oh, and created the Republic of Texas. So Mexico was like, I think Mexico was bigger than than we think it is. Honestly, I think Mexico is, uh, wasn't it part of California also? Yeah, and I think, I don't know how that it got separated. Did we like steal land from the Mexico? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Um, But in my research, because I got like Aztec in my family, and they came up as far as Arkansas, the Aztecs. I believe it was Arkansas. They found Aztec like ruins or built the way that they built all the way up into the United States, and they're still finding stuff. I think that's interesting. But yet Aztecs aren't acknowledged in this United States. So this the only Indian American Indian. Well, it's not American, but that's not acknowledged here in the United States. So I think that's interesting. Although there's proof that they were here all over the place. They followed the water. Yeah. So, if it winds them up, go for it. Right? They went further and changed along the way. Yeah. What is that? What am I gotta I gotta adjust the little cushions on these earbuds because I think they're too big. But that's interesting, huh? Texas. So the birthplace of Texas is where it was signed. The Declaration of Independence was signed at Washington on the Brazos, which is now known as the birthplace of Texas. Hey, that's kind of interesting. I've never heard of Texas Independence Day until this year. Anybody else? I honestly. Should we look at last year's calendar and see if it's there? Can we go to last year? Okay, so it's March, right? March. Let's go to last year in March. Yeah, not there. So yeah, this is new. This is new of 2025. It is not in the calendar. Not there. Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing that or talking about it, reading about it. I'm gonna change the song. So I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. I wish everyone a great Sunday, a wonderful week. Hopefully everybody is having a great week, or will have a great week. I'd like to get more footage of that self-driving Jaguar car. There, I just put out a short earlier, 4 or 5 hours ago. I was driving home and then, I've seen several of these, but I haven't had a chance to get, like, really good footage, and I was just, like, grabbed my phone and, was trying to capture the footage as best as I could, and this darn car just, like, zooms up in between me and this, self-driving Jaguar. But I got 19 seconds of it, so I was happy. But still, I would like to, like, do it like uh, go around the whole body of this car and, like, get some close up of the all the gadgets that are mounted to this car. It's really cool. If anybody's ever seen the Google car, it's got this, thing mounted on the top, which is like a camera that's like a 360, I believe, and, it's got this kinda similar, gadgets mounted to it. But this, self-driving Jaguar, they're using Jaguars for this car, and they're all white. Um, Tinted windows. It's a nice, it looks like a nice SUV. It's pretty nice. Um, and you wouldn't think it's a Jaguar because 'cause I'm used to the old bodies of a Jaguar. It's got the body's rounded and it's got the nice Jaguar emblem, on the hood, but this is totally different. It looks like just like an SUV, but, you look at it and you're like, "What is that?" Then you get closer and you see the word Jaguar on there, and you're like, "Whoa, that's a pretty expensive taxi." Like, you gotta get insured. If you're a taxi or you're transporting people, you gotta get a really high insurance. When I was driving taxi, you had to have a coverage of, I mean, it was really high. I wanna say it was more than 500,000. It was probably almost $1,000,000 in coverage, the insurance. If I can remember correctly, this was quite some time ago, but your coverage for transporting people in a car like that, like commercially, or you have to carry a high insurance, and if you're driving a Jaguar, I mean, just the insurance probably for that car is high, so I can imagine the insurance that they have to carry. And I'll get some more information on that because I'm curious, who owns that company, who's running it, who designed it, all these things I'd like to learn. Hey, Ollie, how you doing? How's you and the family? How's everything over in Scotland, my friend? Uh, Please don't tell me it's rainy and foggy, my favorite weather. Is it rainy and foggy? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm finally home. I'm finally home. Uh, it's nice to be home. I checked on all my plants. I planted stuff before I left. I planted cilantro. I planted shishito peppers and some pansies. And I planted some wildflowers too. And I planted some bush beans. I don't think those got water while I was gone. I think the sprinkler heads are not. And I have to adjust them because they should have been sprouted by now, especially the bush beans. But yeah, I'm home. It's dry and cold. Is it? Oh, dry. Just like here in the desert. So dry. Oh, it's cold. You know what? It was weird. It was cold. It was kind of cold in Vegas. I dressed. I packed pants and like I think two pairs of shorts. Did not wear shorts at all while I was there. These earbuds really bug my ears. Um, it was cold, but then there was a few days where I was wearing my just a vest, but it's got like Sherpa lining kind of, and it was warm. It was really warm. I really hated to wear pants a few of those days, but it was like in the 50s. To me, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, you're probably what in the 30s, 20s, 10s, below below zero. You have snowdrops growing in the front garden? You mean icicles? Uh, let's play this one. Are those your guys' way of describing an icicle? Oh, those are flowers. Oh, you planted some flowers. They're called snowdrops? Ah, I wonder what those look like. Let's see. Oh, enchanting winter flowers. They drape. They open like a shower head. How cool is that? They kind of look like little bells almost, but they open. That's pretty. Those are pretty. I like them. Do they only come in white? There's a myth. There's a myth about this flower. So according to there's a myth. So Persephone, the goddess of spring and nature, was forced by her uncle Hades to inhabit the underworld for the autumn and winter months, then brought snowdrops with her from the underworld when she returned to Earth each spring. Isn't that neat? February and March are in full bloom. Hi, Pramod. Welcome in. How are you? That's neat. Those are pretty, Ali. Those are really pretty. Yeah, I just I made some flower bombs. So I got some dry clay and soil and put some wildflower seeds in there and then made little balls. And I planted a few of those. I got more. I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna plant some more. We've been having great weather here. It's like already spring, uh, going on summer already. Oh, that's the sign of spring, really? Yeah, that's what this says here. That's the myth. That's a I love reading about different myths, but that was the myth of the snowdrop. Good to see you, Pramod. So the scientific name for them is called galanthus. Yeah, it is like a bell shape. Those are pretty. That's neat. Oh yeah, flowers are pretty. I have a big round half barrel with soil in it, and I planted uh, what are those called? Darn it. Oh gosh, my brain is fried. Um, oh gosh, darn it. Well, they're edible and you can make tea with them. So, primrose is what they are. You can, if you grow your own primrose, they're like a really thin, I think it's like 4 flower petals, and they open wide. They're a white petal, and then around the center is a little lighter, but you can like literally eat those. I've made tea with them, and they're really good. It's really good. It's good for you too. Yeah, the primrose. And they're a desert flower here. Like they don't take a lot of water, and they make a big, nice round bush, kind of real pretty. We got potatoes growing right at the front door because we had some empty pots, and I had potatoes growing here inside the house. They were starting to grow their little uh, nodules or whatever those things are. And I'm like, all right, these things are growing. So I just threw them in dirt, and they're like 2 feet tall already. The green part, the leaves. And then my hubby goes, "There's potatoes in there." So we're excited. There's potatoes. We got potatoes growing right at the front door. And they're in the shade like all day long. They're growing good. But we have at night we have the porch light on all night. So I think they're thriving from that light at night. Oh yeah, the eyes, right? Those little it looks like it could be a root, but it's really the plant starting, right? The eyes. What else? Yeah, that's all I planted so far. The shishito peppers have not sprouted, but the cilantros have sprouted, and the or, pansies. Pansies I planted for a salad to make the salad look pretty. They're really nice in a salad. It kinda gives it like a Hawaiian feel when you place them on a salad, and they're good, they taste good. They're not salty or anything, they're just like a really thin artichoke. Like, if you're eating an artichoke and you can imagine, like a petal tasting like an artichoke, that's kinda what it tastes like. There's really no flavor to it or salt in it, but it adds a lot of color to your salad. The shoots, well, they would be what we call early potatoes over here. The farmers plant them and cover them in straw. Yeah. Yeah, potatoes are fun to grow. If you just want like the green, quick green, like just green up a place, an area, plant potatoes and you'll get a big bush of green. Really neat. Just for color. And then you get potatoes. It's a bonus. It's cool. I like to plant those, the colored potatoes, the purple, the red, and like the brown mixture. They're a really small potato, kinda like this big, like that big. Like they're really small. Those are fun to plant. But there's an ornamental one that's it's the leaves are different, but in Idaho they had them in a lot of pots in the city. They had ornamental, like, cabbage, and it was like a potato plant. I don't know if they actually produced potatoes, but the foliage was beautiful, big and full and bushy, real pretty, and it cascaded down, down the pot, the edges of the pot. Really pretty. Do you eat the leaves, Ollie? Are they edible? Never tried to, eat the leaves. I don't know if they gotta be edible too, right? All of all of my, the arugula that's growing right out of the ground, because it seeded itself. It just kind of the seeds blew. They must have blown, like, all over the porch 'cause, there's, like, a lot of arugula that sprouted, and when I got back, it all went to seed, so it's got, like, these tall stalks, stems with flowers on them. And, shoot, I got a lot of arugula to harvest. The seed pods are already on the stalks, and I'm gonna have so many arugula seeds again. I have so much arugula. Oh, you feed them to the sheep? Okay, that's neat. Oh, I bet they love that. I think I have an avocado too, growing. Pretty sure it is. I'm gonna have to do a plant ID on that. I'm pretty sure because I try to remember the shape of leaves, and that's how I identify plants. Just from growing them often, and with my experience, I could tell what the plant is by the leaf. And this looks like an avocado. It's growing, and I may have thrown a seed in there in hopes of it sprouting. And I think that's an avocado in one of my planters. It's in the planter where the globe amaranth is growing, and that poor thing. It looks like it's at its end stage of its life, so I might have to chop that down, but I got lots of seeds for that. I got a ton of seeds for that, it's crazy. So your father used to plant a field of potatoes and keep half of it for us and feed the rest to his sheep. Oh, yeah, that sounds neat. And that makes sense, huh? Feed everybody. And that's neat. What else do we have growing? Oh, I was talking to my mother because I have a rue plant. Do you know what rue is? She said that she used to throw it in marinades and soups and things like that. I didn't even know it was edible. And she said, "Don't you remember when you were little, you used to eat I put rue in the soups and marinade?" I said, "No." I know we had a lot of rue growing, but it's an acquired taste. Like I can't imagine eating that plant because a lot of people don't like the smell of it. It's got a very pungent, interesting smell. But it's got a real tiny little like a almond shaped leaf, not so pointy at the tip, just more rounded, oval shaped leaf, bluish green. But like you put your hand on it and like the scent stays on you. It's just a very strong. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna pull a couple sprigs off of that rue and throw it in the marinade for this piece of meat I'm gonna cook soon. Wonder how that would taste. I'm gonna put it in a barbecue sauce. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out. You don't mind almonds? No, the rue, like R-U-E, rue. In Spanish, we call it ruda. 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 Rue. Uh, it's got a strange smell. All right, so we're in an hour and a half already, guys. I didn't want to go too long. Probably gonna go to bed, but I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with me. You like barbecue sauce, as long as it's not. Yeah, I am with you. I'm very picky with the barbecue sauce. The sweet, I don't like sweet. I like savory. If it's just a little tiny bit sweet, it's fine. But like really overly sweet, no, it ruins. I think it ruins. Then you're going into like teriyaki territory, and that stuff. And I agree. I don't really like sweet barbecue. So, well, it's good to see you, Ali, and hopefully everything's going good with you and the family. I appreciate everybody for coming by, stopping by, saying hello. I think I'm gonna close her down and get to bed. I gotta go visit my mom tomorrow, see how she's doing. I don't think anything's gonna be going on tomorrow until Monday, or today. I'm sorry, it's Sunday today, but tomorrow, Monday, I think that's when everything's gonna start happening as far as decision making and figuring out her exit plan from the hospital. So we'll see. There's so many cool things on the way to this hospital. Like, there's like this one street, and on this street, there's like 30 different like restaurants and all kinds of cool things. Like, it's like, wow, I've never seen this part of Phoenix, but it's on the way to like downtown. And you can see the big tall buildings. It's just really cool. I'm not used to seeing that a lot from where I live. But it's a neat side of town. It's really neat. It's got a bunch of businesses, coffee places, restaurants. There's a whole huge hospital for your animals. There's like a daycare for your animals. Just like they're all like in on this one block. Really cool. Just a bunch of stuff I was noticing. Trying to notice a lot of the businesses. A lot of restaurants. Thanks, Fever Dream. It was good to see you, and I can't wait to see more of your stuff. And it's good to see you too, Ali, and everybody that popped in to say hello. I will see you all soon. Thank you, Pramod, for coming in, and Julie and Miss Joyax popped in too. It's good to see you, ladies. 907 Good Eats. Good to see you also. Roger, always good to see you, Roger. Uh, Jim Bob. Jim Bob popped in. You knows popped in. Good to see you all. Have a great week, you guys. I will go live again. I'm going to try to do some more lives. Just so I'll try not to do them too late, but just whenever I get a chance. And this is my downtime, so still trying to get mom all situated. And I do want to do something for St. Patty's before St. Patty's Day. So just something to that effect, St. Patty's Day. So we'll see. But I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you later. Good night, guys. Have a great week. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to play an extra, huh? Here's your extra.